For the first time in his term, President Obama issues pardons for past convictions, cases for people originally charged with felonies who have since atoned for their actions. And as 39 Steve Mark explains, a man in Navasota got the call he's been waiting for.
After navigating the most of a second chance, imagine waiting nearly 3 decades to wipe your slate clean.
I had confidence in myself all along the way that regardless of whether this went through, it's really not going to change fundamentally who Tim Gallagher is.
Tim Gallagher, a firefighter and rescue specialist in Phoenix. In 1982, included in a group of 38 others charged with cocaine-related crimes.
Back then, things were more relaxed and looser, and a whole bunch of us were partying on our days off, snorting cocaine, smoking dope, drinking beer.
Gallagher pleaded guilty, received 3 years probation. As part of a second chance management program, eventually reinstated and on the way to a distinguished career. Moved to Navasota in 2000 to head the state's Search and Rescue Commission, director of Task Force 1, and noted for efforts in New York during 9/11, but haunted by the one thing he couldn't erase yet from his resume.
When you're convicted of a felony, you lose everything, every single thing, including your basic rights as an American. And so you're starting all over. Then you hope for some opportunities, you continue to do a good job, you plug yourself back into the community.
4.5 years had passed since Tim Gallagher started the appeals process, knowing the odds, the very long odds, against a presidential pardon. That's Gallagher right next to President George W. Bush during support efforts in Louisiana during Hurricane Rita. Bush never acted on Gallagher's request for a pardon. By late last month, President Obama had denied all 140 pardon requests and 1,100 commuted sentence pleas since taking office. Until yesterday, the first and only group of pardon requests granted, 9 of them, and Tim Gallagher was one of them.
The fact that it's only 9 of us on that list, you know, I've gone through bits of emotion at times because it's almost overwhelming. I mean, how thankful that I am. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, President Obama. I can sit right here now and say I'm so thankful for all of it, because here I am. It's a wonderful feeling. It really, truly is a wonderful feeling.
Is it okay for an ex-Marine to cry after one phone call? In this case, absolutely. In Navasota, Steve Mark, 39 News.
It's the mission for a unique Houston group that's starting to get a lot of attention. 39 Steve Mark is here now with more on how people are paying it forward.
It's a really neat feel-good mission tonight. An act of kindness comes in all forms. A new nonprofit group wants to spread good deeds throughout Houston. Their first test case was placed at the hands of a 4-year-old. On December 19th, Corwin Bishop gathered with family at Discovery Green for his 4th birthday party. Little did Corwin know his biggest birthday present would be what he was giving. Is it nice to give things to other people?
Yeah.
Corwin was approached totally at random by a member of the Encouragement Project, a fledgling Houston-based group that fosters the doing of good deeds. The 4-year-old was given a $100 bill with one stipulation, that it be spent on others within 15 minutes.
One over there.
Corwin and his mom, Jessica, bought flowers and handed them out to unsuspecting and delighted passersby.
It's a really good catalyst because it breaks people out of their own little shell, you know, where they're absorbed in their own lives. And it's a shock to them whenever somebody walks up and gives them a free gift.
The Encouragement Project is the brainchild of Brian Figat, a former creative arts pastor at Bay Point Church in Texas City, and who a few years ago hatched a fundraiser by asking congregants to give up 1 cup of coffee a week for 11 weeks.
At the end of 11 weeks, they'd raised over $10,000. And they were amazed, and it kind of just showed the power of that corporate giving and everybody being on the same page and getting together.
Which led to more such works. And now through EncourageHouston.org, the goal is to achieve and document 1 million acts of kindness, big or small.
Random acts of kindness, good deeds. It could be anything from helping the lady next to you with her lawn because she can't do it herself, or it could be somebody who can afford to go out and buy somebody to wash her dryer. We've done things like that.
Speaking of those good deeds, young Corwin Bishop shows signs of autism. The smiles he was randomly asked to create could be the best birthday gift he could have ever received.
I gave money to people.
You did? You gave money to people? And what did they think when you gave them money? How excited were they? Were they very happy?
Yeah.
Helping others around him makes him happy, and it's just a wonderful foundation for the beginning of his life.
Absolutely is. Though the goal of the 1 in a Million campaign is 1 million acts of kindness, even a 10% success rate means helping 100,000 lives. Either way, a very admirable effort, starting with the exuberance of that 4-year-old. I'm Steve Mark, 39 News.
It's a part of Navasota ISD's physical education program. Students are given the option to participate in skateboarding instead of taking regular PE. 39 Steve Mark spent the day learning about the class and its students.
1 o'clock on a school day and English 1 wanes on at Navasota High School. Except for 20 students studying not Romeo and Juliet, but the moves of Tony Hawk.
Well, skateboarding is kind of my life, so it's really great.
At the city skate park, class is in session. Skateboarding for credit? Are you kidding? Nope. Noting that regular physical education classes aren't for everyone.
It was boring. Didn't really have a lot of fun because I'm not really much of a sports kind of guy. I just like to skate and have fun.
Navasota's administration looked for an alternative to accommodate kids just like Tobias Brown.
Some of these kids, they're not interested in learning basketball, volleyball, those kind of things. Many of these kids, they'll tell you that if they were in PE last year and they sat there in the bleachers and did nothing. The idea is to have them physically active.
5 days a week, splitting time between campus and the skate park, Navasota students work on jumps and flips. For grades, the skateboarding class can substitute for PE credit or elective credit.
It's really cool. We were surprised when we heard about it. I love skating. That's all we do is skate. They're not your typical volleyball, basketball, football players, so it's pretty unique.
When I was in PE, it was basically dodgeball every day, and now, you get advanced like this with skateboarding, so it's neat for them to actually come out here and do something they love.
So right now there are a lot of kids stuck in math class, and you're out.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Darn, right? By 1:40, it's back to the classroom. Alternative sporting Shangri-La can only last so long. In Navasota, Steve Mark, 39 News.